Keeping it real with Nene. Y'all remember when Nene had that special on that news show? Or was it like, I mean, was that a podcast that she had before podcasting? Technically, I don't really know. All I do is remember, I just remember keeping it real with Nene. you know, the singers, you gotta do all this Mariah Carey style. Meanwhile, y'all, Nene Leaks has posted this to her IG stories, and it has fans thinking that she's talking about Drew. So I was tagged in this. We talked about it on our Clips channel, but hadn't had a chance to talk about it here. So it says, if you wanted my leftovers, you should have asked for a plate. That almost sounds like a tagline now that I think about it. If you wanted my leftovers, you should have asked for a plate. Dot, 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 dot. It didn't even taste good. Laughing emoji. The thirst is real. So this was featured on the Neighborhood Talk. It says, oop, Nene leaks with a message after a mystery man who she was previously seen with makes a Real Housewife of Atlanta appearance, seemingly pursuing Drew. And the quote, the thirst is real. Okay. So I had to really sit and think about this. And I was like, when we watched the episode, what we saw was this guy right here. Okay. This guy right here in the what appears to be like Adidas tracksuit jacket with the platinum chains on. Now, how did we meet this person on the show, right? He was introduced, I think they said his name was Terry on the show, but I could be mistaken, okay? I would have to really go back and rewatch it. It was one of those things where I really didn't honestly pay attention to it. I mean, I saw the person, but I was like, man, that looks familiar, but I just didn't really zone in on it when I did my recap, nor during the episode. But it almost looked like Drew was ducking and dodging, but I don't know. Y'all tell me. So what had happened was I feel like they were filming at an event earlier that day, and Drew was speaking at said event. Pinky then invites him to her skating event, thinking that it was going to be maybe a match for Drew. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I felt like that's kind of the paraphrasing version of how it happened. Well, lo and behold, that is this person. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys remember Nene Leaks had posted this on her Instagram. I think it was her Instagram. It was some years ago, right? At this point. And it says, this was the caption at the time. Newly leaked photos of Nene with a much younger guy. Now, the great thing about the Neighborhood Talk is that they can go back and they can just pull from their own archives, right? So this is who appears to be the same guy that was featured on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So that could potentially be why Nene Leaks is saying, if you wanted my leftovers, you should have asked for a plate. It didn't even taste good. The thirst is real. But I guess the question would be, though, now I don't know all the mechanics of the show in terms of, did Drew have to sort of say, yes, I want this guy to film? Or at this point, was it just a situation where because he was invited, he signed off on filming and said, all right, I'm cool with this, and was in pursuit of Drew? Was Drew really interested in this person? What did Nene hear? What did she think when she saw it or when she heard about it? Did people tell her about it? I mean, we just don't know what was said or how it was stated or how it was presented to Nene, if she even saw it or if she heard something else from behind the scenes. because I'm sure she still has eyes and ears down to the filming streets. Okay? There's that. Now, again, this is the person, this is also the person, okay? Allegedly. All right? Now, what do you think about this? Do you think Nene is right to do this? And do you think that she was speaking about Drew? Because I would assume one could have assumed that she was saying the thirst is real. She could have been talking about him for being on the show. But it sounds more like she's aiming this potentially at Drew, or at least that's what the speculation is right now. But you guys, again, you let me know in the chatterization what your thoughts are about this, about Nene Leaks making this comment potentially aimed at Drew Sidor. Okay? All right. I wanted to talk about something interesting real quick. Wait, before I go there, she also said this, okay? She also posted this. They don't make them like me no more. Forever influencing the influencer. Now, this could just be one of those, I'm that ish type of post. I'm not mad at these types of posts because I feel like if you're not gonna hype yourself up, who will, right? In this day and age, you got to stay hyped for yourself. Cause baby, let me tell you, I could tell you, I can tell y'all something. I can tell y'all something that happened to me recently, and ooh, mm, mm, mm. But I shan't go. But I will talk about this, okay? We've briefly spoken about Shamia on the After the Edit podcast promoting the show. This was back when I told you guys what she had said about, when it was asked about who would be the next person that would be losing a peach or would not have a peach next season. And she said Drew, and I was like, that's not, I mean, I would not have answered that question personally. That's just me though. All right. So in this same interview, I went back and I watched the entire thing. And something that I thought was super interesting that maybe I wanted to clarify that because maybe it was unclear because it was not clear to me. Okay. And I don't know if this will make a big difference for you guys or not, but we talk about K Michelle in some of these scenes and sort of not wanting to be participatory. But at least one of those scenes, there may have been a reason for that being the case. And I'm sorry, not Aaron, Darren, the host, my apologies, Darren, um, asks Shamia about that scene in particular. And what Darren says is this, from what she understood, was that K Michelle, coming from the world of love and hip hop, granted that was not her last ensemble show. I would say the Queen's Court was more of an ensemble show, but it wasn't necessarily in the same vein. It was more of a competition style show for love. So maybe that was a little bit different. And maybe the makeup that was done maybe it was done differently for that show. But apparently, for what Darren stated, love and hip hop glam is provided, okay, especially for these types of scenes. And so K Michelle not having glam and not maybe knowing that process had something to do with the reason why she didn't feel comfortable showing up, because she's used to a format where they do provide glam for her. And on Housewives, that is something that is secured unless it is for something specific like a reunion, Watch What Happens Live, or press, which is something that Shamia clarifies here in this interview. So I did want to speak about that because I thought that was super important. It may be a detail that could be completely lost on you because at this point, K Michelle might have completely lost you in general. But I did find it interesting enough to sort of bring up and talk about because I just thought that that's fascinating. That is fascinating to know. And finally, I did want to talk to you about something that we discussed yesterday at the end of our live was the conversations between Angela and her daughter, Amari, with regards to Amari's sexuality, her marriage, and Angela's discomfort with telling the kids about Amari's marriage. Okay. Now, in our conversation, what I did say was, for me, I don't know where I didn't know where Angela's comfortability really lied with her daughter's sexuality. I just did not know what her comfortability was with talking to the kids about sexuality, specifically because I know that not every parent is usually comfortable right out of the gate with it. We don't really know that. So it would be unreasonable. And I also think there's space for, and I said this, for parents to not be comfortable with it because it's not always expected. And so you have to give them that time to become comfortable with something that they don't necessarily understand all the time. So anyway, this is what is being said here. Her daughter chimes in and says, "My wife and I have been together for over a decade. What you're seeing is a family navigating grief, communication, and life changes. We don't always get it right, but the love has been there. One thing, she has always supported me and my sexuality." Shout out to our friends over at No Chaser for also posting this as well. So Angela said this: "If your adult child got married and didn't tell you, would you be hurt? My daughter married a young woman I've loved for years, her childhood sweetheart. I felt it was her news to share with her siblings, not mine. Hell, she didn't even tell me. 23 was too young." Someone else says, "And they tried to paint it as something other than what you said. I'd be hurt too." Angela responds, "Thank you. She is all I've ever known for my daughter. Holidays, vacations, they even lived with us. She is my family. I adore her wife. They blindsided me. I'm human." Now, at this point, it's not clear to me exactly why Amara got married and did not tell her, if the comfortability was there, but maybe it was because she knew that her mom would think that it would be too young to make that type of decision for herself. Don't know. Don't know, right? But listen, I think what we do offer in these situations is the grace enough to understand that family dynamics are unique, distinct, and I applaud them for actually even being able to talk about this on the screen, because I know that it could be a potentially a lot of discomfort with regards to this conversation. So let me know what you guys think about it. How did you feel about it? How did you receive it? For some of you, this won't really matter or be a factor at all, and I can respect that too. But for those of you guys who haven't thought about it, just let us know honestly in the comments section. Obviously, keep it respectful as always, but just let us know. All right. With that being said, that's what we got for you guys this morning, and I will catch you guys, of course, in the next video.